What's up, everybody, and welcome once again to another episode of the Gimme presented by BetMGM. Why the Gimme? Because it's good. Coming up this week, of course, the WGC-FedEx St. Jude Invitational. Can't wait for this thing to get started in, just about 12 hours, maybe a little more, 13, 14 hours, something like that. We'll do the math as we're working here on the show. I'm Jason Sobel from Golf Bet. She is Amanda Rose. He is Justin Ray from the 21st Group. And coming up, we're going to spin the betting wheel as we always do. We're going to make our own Dfs lineup and, of course, our perfect portfolios. And we've got a little bonus for you, a first-round leader contest. We're going to give our first-round leader plays, but also you can go on Twitter and you can win some really nice prizes if you indeed have the correct first-round leader for this week in Memphis. Guys, let's get started. And Amanda, tell me one bet that you've made already. And, oh, by the way, hi.
Hi, welcome back. We missed you. One bet I've made already is a Brian Harmon top 10. I'm going to tell you a little bit about that in my perfect portfolio.
I like it. Jay Ray, where you going?
I'm going to have some tickets on Matt Fitzpatrick. In 2 career starts at this course, he's finished 4th and 6th. 2 years ago here, he ranked in the top 10 in the field in both strokes gained tee to green and strokes gained putting. Had the best strokes gained putting week of his entire career here last year. I'm going to have some action on Matt Fitzpatrick.
All right. Brooks Koepka missed the Pro-Am on Wednesday. Maybe his knees bother him. Maybe he just didn't feel like going out in 100-degree weather for one extra day if he didn't really have to. But BetMGM has a prop up there. Brooks Koepka to open with a birdie on his first hole. His first hole will be the 10th hole on Thursday morning. It's plus 450. Oh, by the way, he's birdied this hole 3 of the last 8 times he's played it the last 2 years. So I think that number is a really good number to take. I will take that one. Guys, speaking of BetMGM, some of their props, they gave us one again. We're back. We've got a gimme prop on there. Louis Oosthuizen, a top 5. We were thinking it would just be a top 3 prop, but I guess they don't do those. So it's top 5 prop, including ties, plus 550. Justin, what do you think? You buying this? You buying the gimme prop this week?
He's going to run out of steam at some point, right? He's played a lot of golf over the last couple of months, a lot of contending weeks, so a lot of stress-filled rounds. But I don't know. I mean, he's got top 3 finishes in 4 of his last 6 starts around the world. I might like that number.
Amanda, what do you think?
Yeah, take it. He had last week off to hang out at the farm in good old Ocala. So I like Louis Oosthuizen this week. I think I'm going to take it.
Yeah, I always feel better after hanging out in Ocala as well. But
makes one of us.
Tough one this week. I kind of feel like Justin. At some point, it's all going to fall apart for Louis. But he's been playing so well. No, I'm out. Usually, I like taking the gimme bet. I'm out. Let's look at the top of the board at BetMGM. Brooks Koepka, 11-1. He is your favorite. He has finished in the top 3 in Memphis more times than he's finished outside the top 3. So obviously, a horse for this course. Colin Morikawa, 12-1. Xander Schauffele, the gold medalist, is 14-1. Dustin Johnson, 16-1. Jordan Spieth, 16-1 at BetMGM. If you like Jordan this week, hop on that number because he is shorter at some other books out there. And Justin Thomas rounds out the top half dozen at 18-1. Let's get into our perfect portfolios. We don't care if it's high volume, low volume, high stakes, low stakes, whatever you're playing. We're going to help you get some winners this week. Amanda, help the people out there get some winners.
All right, so I'm going to go with some 3 long shots. I love my European Tour players. So we're going to go with Victor Perez for top 20. I'm just waiting for him to have another breakout tournament like he did at the Players Championship. He's kind of struggled as of late, but I think another top 20 bet I'm going to do is Aaron Rai. He's a really weird dude. He uses iron covers. He makes most type A people seem really laid back. Top 20 at the Open. He played some good golf heading into it. I like him this week for top 20. Wilco Nienaber, top 30. Played great at Palmetto. He's such a long player. I think this course sets up nicely for him. And he's such a good value considering it's a very small no-cut field. So for him to statistically finish in the top 30 is really not that crazy. And finally, like I mentioned, Brian Harmon, top 10. He's been playing great lately. He's always a great price in fields like this. I was a little surprised he didn't win come the end of July. He kind of stalled a little bit, but I think it's after the little bit of a break with the after the Open and having the Olympics last week, I think he's kind of revved and ready.
Amanda going against the cardinal rule of golf betting, never place a wager on a guy with iron covers.
I know. He's going to embarrass me, isn't he?
No, he's just embarrassing himself, really. But that's okay. Hey, look, if it works for him, then it works. He travels a lot.
He's made a lot more money playing golf than we have. So he's really the one that should be laughing, not us.
I'm trying to make excuses for the iron covers. I'm not sure I have a great one. All right, let's get to mine. Dustin Johnson is my favorite outright play this week, and I will take him outright in the portfolio. I get it. Hasn't been a great summer so far for DJ. Missed the cut at the 3M Open in his last start, but did sound optimistic during his press conference earlier today. And I do think that DJ, if anybody can just sort of flip the switch and start playing better golf, it's him. I think it's a good number. He's won twice here. He's not just a horse for the course. He is a thoroughbred. Now I'm going to ride him this week. Scottie Scheffler, top 5. At some point, those outright tickets are going to start cashing on Scottie. I don't know that it's this week, but I do really like him. He's a guy that, as the weeks progress more over the last couple of days, 5-1 for a top 5 is a good number. Joaquin Neiman coming back from Japan, where he was close to playing really well, close to being in the medal hunt for the Olympics. I'm taking him for a top 10 at plus 350. And oh, by the way, really like one of his countrymen this week too. We'll get to that in a little bit as well. And then for my last play, Minwoo Lee. We saw him win the Scottish Open just a few weeks ago. Love this dude's Twitter. Love this dude's swing. Love everything about him. 22-year-old from Australia. I think he's ready to make a splash against some of the world's better players. He's only played in one major and one WGC in his career, but getting those experiences should help him out here. Top 20 plus 400. Yeah, let's go with that one. J. Ray.
I like that. You know, I'm with you on Dustin Johnson this week. One of 2 players with a scoring average under 68 on this golf course going back to 2010. He's averaging 5.5 birdies or better per round here since 2016. Best of any player. That's a crazy number. Also, top 10 finish each of the last 2 times he's played after taking a week off. I've got DJ to top 5. I think that number is a good one for him. Webb Simpson to top 10. The last 2 years, he is 21 under par at TPC Southwind. Only Brooks Koepka is better in that span. Runner-up in 2019, finished tied for 12th last year. He also was a tie for 3rd on this golf course in 2014. Coming off a top 20 at the Open Championship, I've got Webb for a top 10. Corey Connors, a top 10 finish. This is a golf course where elite iron play is rewarded a little bit more than normal. Since 2010, winners here rank 29% better in strokes gained approach than the average PGA Tour winner. Corey is one of the best iron players on tour. Coming off back-to-back top 15 finishes, I've got the Canadian to top 10. Going to round it out with lefty. Top 20 finish for Phil Mickelson. Ranks 4th in scoring average on this golf course since 2010. Since 2012, only DJ and Daniel Berger have averaged more birdies per round on this golf course than Phil Mickelson. He really outperforms his previous, what he does everywhere else on the putting greens here. I've got an article on PGAtour.com. You can check it out where I dive real deep into the numbers if you're a lefty fan. But I've got Phil the top 20 to round out my portfolio.
So unlike you to dive deep into the numbers. I believe, by the way, I won't go too deep. I'll go in the shallow end, but I believe no finishes worse than 12th in Memphis, or only one finish worse than 12th in Memphis since 2013 for Phil Mickelson. So yes, it's been a place where he has had some good success. All right, let's get to this course. TPC Southwind, only a par 70. So 2 par 5s on the golf course. We've been seeing it for years. We know it. We love it. The pros love it as well. Ask the pros and they will say this is one of the most underrated courses on the PGA Tour. Recent winners include, as we've mentioned a few times, Dustin Johnson twice, Daniel Berger twice, Brooks Koepka, and of course the defending champion, Justin Thomas. So mentioned it earlier, we have a first round leader contest. Go over to Twitter, and if you tag Golf Bet, we'll look at your picks, and hey, you got a chance if you pick the first round leader this week, and you've got a better chance than most other weeks with this being a limited field. I'll give you that much, and we'll try to help you out with some of our picks as well. Amanda, where are you going? I know you wrote about it as you do every week at Golf Bet and the Action Network, theactionnetwork.com, with your first round leader plays. You got to pick one of them, though. You can't have a few of them, so you got to pick one.
I know. So I went with Dustin Johnson mainly because he's a really good value this week. Like, he's won here twice. Like you said, Jason, you were hot on him in your perfect portfolio. So I really like him at this course. He's just different. I mean, he's just decent at this court. Like, he loves this place, and the price is what really, really got me. So shop around. I think I saw him somewhere around 30-1. I definitely saw over 20-1. So I'm not sure what he is on BetMGM, but shop around and see where you can get some good value on him.
I like it. J. Ray.
I'm going to go with the guy you mentioned earlier, Scottie Scheffler. He's ranked 5th on the PGA Tour this season in first round scoring average. His first start since he finished in a tie for 8th place at the Open Championship a few weeks ago. Shot a first round 67 that week. Like you said, I think he's going to break through and win soon. Don't know if it's this week. Could be. I say he gets off to a hot start on Thursday.
my theory on first round leader bets is just keep going back to the well with guys that have done well for you in the past. Harold Varner is a guy that I've hit on. Obviously, he's playing the Barracuda this week. Cameron Tringali's done well for me. Joaquin Neiman. And Sam Burns. Sam Burns is a guy who has a really strong Thursday record. So far this season, he's got 3 Thursday scores of 64, 165, a couple of 66s, a couple of 67s. The only reason he's only, quote unquote, ranked 22nd on the PGA Tour in round 1 scoring average is because he's got a couple of 77s and an 81 thrown in there. But the ceiling is really, really high. So I like Sam Burns, 66-1 at BetMGM this week. Again, you can go to Twitter and tag Golf Bet and try to win our contest if you get the first round leader this week. Let's get to our ultimate DFS lineup. We do it every week on the Action Network podcast. Oh, by the way, it's going to be renamed Links and Locks starting next week. So if you go to either my Twitter, Justin's Twitter, or if you go to the actual landing page for the Action Network podcast, you'll be able to figure out where to download and subscribe starting next week. So please do it. We love having you guys listen. So we appreciate that. Also, you can go to.
We got too big, too successful. We had to branch out and get our own logo and everything.
By the way, I provide the links.
Definitely the reason why.
Justin provides the locks in there. The locks are not mine. He's all the locks. So also, you can check out our models and tools on Fantasy Labs as every week. And as we do every week here on the show, a 6-player DraftKings lineup, and we'll put it all together. 2 picks for each of us. And let's see who's going first. Amanda.
So I'll be honest, guys. I meant to pick Matt Jones, but I kind of panicked and went with Brian Harmon. So here it is. He's been playing really well lately. I don't know if I mentioned that, but he's a great value this week. He's in the 7s. He's just so good right now. Like, he's consistently finishing in the top 20. I love him. You can't have a DFS lineup without Brian Harmon this week.
You can, but.
I mean, but I'm not going to let you.
I like that price too. And I'm going to go with our second pick and go with another guy who I like the price on. Jason mentioned him earlier. Minwoo Lee, sister Minji won the Evian Championship a few weeks ago, her first major. Maybe Minwoo sees that, a little bit inspired. He won the Scottish Open a little while back, right before the Open Championship. Top 25 in greens and regulation on the European Tour this season. Also has some good strokes gained tee to green numbers in recent months. Minwoo Lee, 6,200. It's going to give us a lot of money to spend on these next 4 players.
He's no Max Homa or Jim Herman, but underrated. Very good tweeter, Minwoo Lee. I had a picture today, said I'm very nervous for my lunch date, and it was a picture of Colin Morikawa sitting across the table. I thought that was very, very well done by the youngster there. I'm going to go Scottie Scheffler.
Some of that iron play. Just
yeah.
Osmosis.
Yeah, seriously. Like, can I just sit at that table with you guys and just kind of like, I don't know, just watch you guys like talk about irons. I'm going to go Scottie Scheffler. We've talked about him enough already, but ready to pop. And it seems like in these exclusive fields, majors, WGCs, when the best players are playing, he tends to play his best golf. I don't know if he gets a little bored in the more inferior fields or what have you, but it seems like when the best are out there, he plays his best golf. So at 9,100, I think he's a good play. Amanda?
Yeah, I'm going to go with Harris English. Here's another guy that's been playing great golf. He's in the 7,000s. I mean, he won, a couple weeks ago at the Travelers, and he hasn't missed a cut since the RBC, which included a win at the Travelers. So I love his price this week. I think he's just such a good player right now, and he's another guy. You just can't ignore him.
Kind of sneaky how much Harris English has snuck up the world rankings. 14.
It is.
Kind of surprising. Caught me a little off guard. All right, we got some money to spend, right? So I'm going to go with the top one here before. We've mentioned him throughout the show. Dustin Johnson at 10-2. So I saved some money with the first pick. I'll spend a little with this one. Strokes gained tee to green leader at TPC Southland since 2015. The superlatives go on and on with DJ, not only at this golf course, but pretty much everywhere over the last several seasons. Let's not overthink it. We got the money. Let's put DJ on the roster.
Yeah, same theory. Speaking of not overthinking, I've got the money here. I can fit him in with a 2-time champ who was second place last year and a guy that's been trending in the right direction the entire year. I really like Daniel Berger this week. It's almost like it's too easy to take Berger. He's a horse for this course. Justin, you and I talked about it on the podcast earlier this week. I feel like more so than a lot of other courses on tour, TPC Southwind has guys that play well year after year after year. We've talked about DJ, talked about Koepka, you talked about Phil, Daniel Berger's another one. These same guys tend to show up on the leaderboard every single year. So again, maybe you just don't overthink it this week and maybe you stick with the guys who tend to play well every single year. That's our lineup. Harmon, Minwoo Lee, Scheffler, English, DJ, Berger. Ship it. I like that one a lot. All right, guys, time to spin the betting wheel, and we've got a little twist this week. We've got 5 Olympians who are making the trip from Tokyo to tennis.
I was just going to say, next week, we're bringing Bankrupt back. And, maybe a Paris trip, 5,000. We're going to talk about it. But this week, we're going to start with the wild card. But let's spin the wheel. Let's see where we end up. All right. First spin it's Rory Mcilroy. Justin, what are we doing with Rory?
Yeah, Rory's interesting. Coming off the Olympics where he played really well. He kind of went in nonplussed about the entire situation. It feels like maybe his attitude changed as the week progressed. We haven't seen the consistent output from Rory that we're used to. I'm probably on the fence where I'm going to probably fade him, but it's a slight fade. And, if you like him this week, I won't, hammer you for that. But coming off the trip to Tokyo, quick turnaround, playing a lot of golf recently, and there's been some inconsistent spots there. I'm going to fade Rory this week.
Star-studded field, too, and all these guys coming back. I have no idea how someone's going to play off that. So pretty tough for me for all these guys. But all right, let's spin the wheel again and let's see what we do. All righty. And next one up. Oh, of course, it's the wild card. Beautiful. Love it. In a perfect Amanda, take your pick of anyone you want. Go, you're at it. You're up. Let's see it.
I'm going to talk about a guy who won here a very long time ago, and it feels like it was just yesterday, but it was a very long time ago, and that's Lee Westwood. And I know he's a UPS guy going into a FedEx course or FedEx tournament, but you guys said there's horses for courses here, and I like Lee Westwood. He kind of, didn't make Jason that much money. Actually, probably put Jason in debt during the Open, if we're being honest. But other than that, I like Lee Westwood this week. He's had some time off. He's recharged. I think it's go time for my boy Lee.
By the way, Amanda, I love what you said there. If Lee Westwood wins this week, and I hope the tour folks aren't watching this and listening to this, but UPS should put together a campaign saying Lee Westwood delivered in FedEx territory.
So good.
That is a really
or Louis too.
They should use that more often. All right, let's spin it last time. We know where this guy's going, but let's see what he gets. Oh, perfect. Mr. Gold Medalist, the man himself, Mr. Xander. What do you like here?
All right, this is sort of a buy-sell for me, but I think Xander's going to play well off the momentum. I mean, he's been going everywhere showing off this gold medal, and I love the fact that he's doing it. My buddy Carl Paulson played on tour for a while, now does a radio show with us at PGA Tour Radio. He was in Memphis this week. He saw the gold medal. He said, wow, Xander, you got there? Yeah, here, take it. Put it on. Take a picture. I'll take a picture with you. I mean, I love that. You win a gold medal. You can't just say, no, it's mine. No one can touch it. No one go near me. I'll take a picture from far away for you. No, he's just handing it out to people. What are you going to do? You're not going to break it. It's gold medal. So I think riding off that momentum, he's going to have a nice round or two. But at some point, Xander's got to hit the wall. And so I mentioned that earlier, and I do think that Xander, at some point, I mean, this weekend, the guy's just got to zonk out and sleep for 15 hours. And I can't imagine that's going to be good for his game. So overall, he's a sell. If you want to take a shot at him for first or second round matchups and just kind of ease your way into the week with him, I'm okay buying on that. But for the most part, he is a sell, Evan.
Yeah, gold to a winner this week would be probably the craziest accomplishment I've ever seen. Just from Tokyo to another event, too crazy for me.
It'd be the most disappointing follow-up win ever. Like, after you win the Olympics, you need to, if you're going to win the next week, it needs to be like...
It ain't a disappointing payday, I'll tell you that. He didn't make a whole lot of money for that gold medal.
That is true. I know. I think Rory Sabatini made probably 15 times what he made.
Still no
PGA
Tour victory in the last 2.5 years for Xander Schauffele. Just saying.
It's crazy.
Just saying. Should be very motivated, but yeah, he's a sell for me. All right, guys, just a minute left here. Double your pleasure on the PGA Tour this week. We've got an alternate field event in Truckee, California, the Barracuda Championship, of course, featuring modified Stableford scoring. Who you got, Jay Ray?
So the Barracuda's given us some youthful first-time winners in the past. Colin Morikawa, the most notable one that comes to mind. I'm going to go with another young player this week, former Oklahoma State star Austin Eckroat, coming off a top 20 at the 3M Open.
I like it. Amanda?
I'm going to go with Emiliano Grillo this week. He leads the field in strokes gained total and ball striking coming to this event. since a tie 8 at Charles Schwab, he's only made one cut, but it was a tie 12 at the US Open. So I really like him this week. I think it's going to be a good week for him. What about you, Jason?
Someday, I think we're going to be able to bet on what we think the odds are going to be. So you can actually bet on what you think the odds will be. Then the odds come out, then you can bet on the odds. I would have lost that bet this week because I thought Mito Pereira, coming off a 6th place and a 5th place in his last 2 PGA Tour starts, got into that bronze medal playoff last week in Tokyo, playing great golf. I thought he was going to be the favorite this week. And actually, Maverick McNeely and Brandon Grace, a couple other players, are there ahead of him. He's at 20-1 at BetMGM. I think that's a really good number. That's better than I thought we were going to see. So I like Mito this week. Thanks to everybody out there for watching this episode of the Gimme. Remember, you can check out all our content on Golf Bet this week and every other week. For Amanda Rose, for Justin Ray, I'm Jason Sobel. Good luck with all your plays for this week's WGC-FedEx St. Jude Invitational. Here's hoping you guys hit the green.